My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2. Banished and Under Legion. Okay, we're back on the MT2 clans. Moral Mistress and 2 gooey flasks in the base deck. Hey, this is a deck that we can absolutely make do a bunch of consume nonsense. Seraphiternus Chosen of Savagery. Fleshweaver and Strixen Hallow, hell yeah. Fleshweaver getting some decay on the very first round would be lovely so that we can carve off some of that mass. Rising Rage for some overstacking, and the Gooey Flask for sap. Cool. Well, let's have a look at our artifact. Split Anvil for cost reductions in hand. It's gotta be Void. It's gotta be Void Fragment. It's so much deck control. Oh, if I could do Enchantress as well. Can I? Not especially good at battles, but I can overstack on the top floor, which would be a good way to handle them. Overstack on the top floor with Inspires. Look for something in Merchant Steel, Under Legion, Merchant Steel, Under Legion. Probably only the first one, then Merchant of Arms. Yeah, let's do Enchantress. Thankfully, enemies aren't stopping on the top round, first round, so we'll be okay. It's Shield Steward, Talos, Shield Steward, Moral. Then we just ascend anyone that we can. Oh wait, no, Talos has flight as well. Okay, so Talos can already fly out there. Did forget that immediately. I've got to ascend and advance the Spear Steward, awkwardly. Putting it in a position it doesn't really want to be in. Nice, so then I can ascend and advance the Shield Steward to be in the right position. Inspire. Do I need to Spore Touch a target? I think so. And now if I get really lucky... Dang, would have had to be really lucky to keep the Spear Steward alive here. Although I guess I can Gooey Flask. Give it one more turn to draw the Rising Rage to buff every unit in the deck. All of the Valor pluses for the entire field are huge. I only need to play 1 decay on the Ominous Acolyte. Woo! Flask. Let's Inspire. Then I'm going to move the healthiest unit to the front. It's going to be the only one to die. So we get the buff on... some units? At least the Moral Mistress got it. Being able to support her health without a health upgrade is going to be useful. Windblade... Cleave. Considering I'm not going to banished selections, I'm going to Under Legion selections. We'll take Cleave. Loam Coat. Victory. Oh boy. Loam Coat's so good. I can't turn it down. I do think the Spore Touches are going to be the worst cards in this deck consistently, so I'm going to start removing them. I have to clear my throat. Apologies. Let's go to Merchant of Steel. Quick and multi-strike again. Okay, who wants to wield them? I don't really see Cluster Kernel as a good wielder of that, nor do I see Amorous Inoki as such. That said, I do think I'll still give both of the upgrades to a single unit somehow. Rally when I play a unit card to the floor, so not when I move a unit to the floor, so that's not going to help. I think Cluster Kernel is a really good idea for the top line because it's an easy overstack. It gives us a buffer. And yeah, I do think you can totally just take Quick and Multi-Strike to make you a surprisingly potent, aggressive unit. Start battle, enemy units appear on each floor. That should be fine for us because of the overstacking for the top floor we're capable of doing immediately, but yeah, I'm not thrilled. Let's drop a Loam Coat on you and then Spore Touch on Lurking Miscreants. Actually, I'm also going to echo the Time Father to keep a Cleave and the Gooey Flask in hand. Yeah, top floor's easily managed. Bottom floor less so. I'm going to go Moral Mistress, Gooey Flask for the bottom floor just to manage that entire floor in 2 cards. Should get a Rising Rage this turn or next. Yeah. So those are going to be the units we buff consistently, I guess. Gooey Flask for the Decay on Elebours. Huge. I'll drop a Vengeful Shard and then use Spore Touch to make sure that I don't have to deal with another Lurking Miscreant as well. And then next turn, I'm going to draw a Rising Rage, throw the Spear Steward to the top line. And then it probably ends up becoming sacrificial because it'll be at the front of that line. Not where I want that to be. Well, I'll have to ascend the one that's capable of surviving this turn. Right, I did forget about the Quick Attacker. That's okay, we're always just going to end up losing that frontline unit, so the Stewards just don't get, or rather the Spear Stewards don't get any buffs here. The Shield Stewards both still get it, and so does Colonel Cluster. Divinity is incredible. So selfless sacrifice right now, though. Especially for that top line. I'll take it over Divinity. Proliferate, Glow Up, Advance a Unit, and Propagate 2. That is both Valor that can be propagated, and Regen from Loam Coat. Obviously, Damage Shields. Decay if I put it on an enemy. Sap if I put it on an enemy. And then finally also Troop Stacks. Glow Up might be one of the best cards in this deck already. Spear Steward, I could honestly cut one of the Spear Stewards at this point. I will cut a Spore Touch first, but I wouldn't be surprised to come back. Celestial Alcove versus... Well, no, Celestial Alcove is on both sides. But the unit upgrade... Ugh. I really want, like, a rally unit that Colonel Cluster is working well with. I want Spore Launcher, basically. And then I want to give Spore Launcher dualism and some extra health. And then I want to put it on the top floor. Show me the Merchant of Arms. Huge. So Everlasting Light is just great when you have a quick and a multi-striker. Hall of Mirrors, -2 capacity. Whenever you play a unit, copy it on this floor. Steward's Quarters would be pretty interesting. Set up the top line to be a Steward Haven, and then the mid line to be Talos and Cluster Colonel, and ascend other units into that. I like that. That's where Enchantress wants to be. Make Steward's Quarters deployable. Get the Everlasting Light as well. Check out the alcove first in case. Oh, graft and equipment from your deck onto a unit. I think I just put the Everlasting Light on the Cluster Colonel. Yeah, that'll just be great to have. Hell, I may end up just duping Cluster Colonel, and top line is just Cluster Colonel, Cluster Colonel. Moral Mistress in midline, then Talos, you can ascend to overstack that floor. Loam Coat is a defensive choice for Moral Mistress, maybe, but then you're going to be defended by Cluster Colonel's summon. So no, Loam Coat for defensiveness for the Shield Suit on the top line, and then I'm going to Echo with Time Father to have Gooey Flask ready for Flesh Weaver next turn to start giving decay. We already got to carve off a decent amount of mass at the top there. Gooey Flask and Cleave even. Hell yeah. Huge amount of mass removed, and we're only losing fungi for it. Damn, they do just enough damage to take down the frontline shield steward. Well, nothing I can do about that. Actually, hang on. I'll just prevent Scourges with the decay. Yeah, we have enough other competent units that we shouldn't have to worry. Another Gooey Flask. Perfect turn for it as well. Love to be holding both of those Rising Rages in hand instead. Woohoo! We've survived enough to now be comfortable. Shield Suit on the top line doesn't even die here. I'm gonna self-sack, give so much decay to the entire field, and then glow up for even more damage shield and troop stack. Keep it even more comfortably alive. I think we comfortably win on the middle line without needing my help, so I can fly Talos to the top line to help out there. And then just go Inspire, Inspire, Inspire. Hell yeah. Oh, if only I could also get the train stewards down somehow. It's got to be capacity if we're going stewards' quarters. Tome of the Lost Path. I mean, it's so good. Sanctuary's also really good. Give me Tome of the Lost Path first. There's the Spore Launcher I was asking for. Good lord. I'll take it. Capacity. Another Spore Touch leaves the deck. And it's probably got to be energy for the capacity, for the deployment energy as our next pickup. Mention magic. Intrinsic, holdover. Mainly intrinsic and holdover in terms of value from Merchant of Magic at the moment. Really fully depends on the Merchant of Trinkets being kind or mean as to whether or not it's good, but again, we have Underlegion. So, of course, we have access to some of the most busted relics in the game, like Ever-Churning Soil, draw an additional card each turn. When an angel moves, it gains 1 Valor, not really relevant to us. Odie's Totem, the opposite of what I need, less Deployment Ember. Oh, 10 health for an artifact, 10 health for an artifact, 10 health for an artifact. Ooh, Lost Luggage. 20 health for an artifact. Ooh, Looming Darkshard. When you draw a Blight or a Scourge, gain 1 energy and draw a non-Blight or non-Scourge card. Yes. Oh, I love having enough health to actually be able to take that. Rather than just having to sadly wince and walk away. Non-boss, enemy in each wave gains reanimate 1. Yeah, should be okay. I do think I just play the stewards over the course of the match. Okay, I'm gonna Echo of the Time Father to hold the Loam Goat, the Gooey Flask, and both Rising Rages, as well as Glow Up. We've just got so much heat in this hand, this is just not the hand for it to be played. You can go up there, let's... Spore Touch, the enemy backline, just take care of it. And yeah, I guess I'll drop a single Inspire here. Grand. Oh, wow. We did get the Moral Mistress in the Tome of the Flightpath at the same time, so we can do that. So, I want Loam Coat on Fungi, so we're just propagating additional fungi consistently here. But maybe I don't need that this turn. Traveler's Zealot ascends to the next line. It will be easily taken out by Shield Steward, Shield Steward. Oh, Shield Steward top line. Moral Mistress mid. Give you the Tome of Flight Path. Fly you up to the mid line. And that'll take out the Sharp-Eyed Sniper in the back line. Get some Decay ready. We get to keep the Loam Coat for another turn. Top line's already ready. Okay, yeah. This is starting to get the right area. I can't do anything to get more deaths out of that unit. No, not this turn. Okay. Blowing up gives us some troops in the middle of the battle, and in doing so, gives us enough decay on the Collector to kill it. And then probably another Inspire is best, I think. Hell yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's not gonna work, is it? Oh no, it will. Spear Steward, Rising Rage, and then Glow Up to put the Fungi back in front, and then I can get the Spear Steward to the top line later. We're finally doing it! We're buffing everyone! We're not leaving anyone behind! I don't get any permanent benefits out of any of this, right? No? Okay. I'm gonna rise the boss. Got him! Yeah, as long as I have all of my units survive, and we do, we get maximum power out of this. Sick. +4 damage to everyone, and +10 health permanently. Plus the Colonel's starting to get some nice stats. Just, it's gotta be at some point, Duke Cluster Colonel get the energy so that I can play on the very first turn, Spore Launcher Cluster Colonel, and then fly Talos up to it next turn. Especially because you already have the Graft of the Everlasting Light, it's just going to be a great strategy. Liquid Courage, Damage Shield, and Valor, those are both things that can be propagated. Grow Room! All units propagate 1 at the end of the turn. Yeah, that's perfect for the midline, thank you. Goodbye to 1 more Spore Touch. I mean, there's not too... Oh, wait, I was about to say there's not too much I can do at a Merchant of Steel. I 100% forgot that I care about my stewards in this run. Smidgestone. So if I Smidgestone a single Shield Steward, I can get all of my stewards to the top line just by naturally placing them, because we have 7 + 1. Yeah, we have enough size for it now. Let's give Titanite and Valor to one of you. Ooh. Large stone for the small stone, and then dualism for Spore Launcher, considering how important you are to our strategy, and then damage for one of the Spear Stewards for top line makes the most sense to me as well. Stable Vortex, more removal. I mean, one of them is going to be the other Spore Touch. Ooh, it's lovely to start running out of cards that are worth upgrading, but Inspire is still worth removing. Sorry, it's lovely to run out of cards that are worth removing. What I meant to say. This is honestly a really, really free just dupe opportunity. I'll take the Cluster Kernel here. Unfortunately, it's going to be another 2 battles until I can actually play that in the deployment phase. But if I draw it on turn 1, that's still good. Spear Steward, second Cluster Kernel, and we'll have 2 space left on this floor, so only enough space to play like a Moral Mistress. Do I want to fly Talos up yet then? Okay, never mind. We do get the opportunity to play the Moral Mistress there, so that'll be better. Play you first. Fly up. It's going to be difficult to continue keeping the second Cluster Kernel and the second Shield Steward both alive. Yeah, only really Valor would be able to do it, and they'd have to be in the front line as well to benefit from all of that. Actually, let's Echo the Time Father. I can selfless sack you forward. Then Tome of the Lost Path the Fungi forward, and at the end of the turn you'll lose 1 damage shield, and then I can give you Grow Room to try and give you that damage shield again. If I can keep you alive, I will. Okay, we managed to keep it alive. Now it's going to be getting enough damage shield to stay alive. And then with that Liquid Courage, the Steward on the top is going to have the same experience. Oh, I don't want to play both those. Hang on. I also want the Spore Launcher to get the stats this turn. So it's Spore Launcher, you then Rising Rage, then I fly the Fungi back to the front, Liquid Courage, Vengeful Shard, and we're all good. We're back on top. Everyone's getting the buffs again. Yay! Nothing even need be done about it. See, I don't need the cluster kernel to have dualism to be wielding the everlasting light. I just need 2 of them. That's dualism again. Demonize is really good at moving Seraphiternus off of the wrong floor, despite being very expensive to do the same as well. Liquid Courage is also really good, though. Shiri Death Gap for the bottom line. Or Fertile Ground. Give me Fertile Ground. That's another consume card. Speaking of consume cards, let's purge one. Goodbye, Inspire. And it's long past the time where I really need to go to a Merchant of Trinkets. Twin Minds. Create a permanent copy of the first consume card you play each battle. Do like that. Attuned Whetstone on deployment phase. Draw an equipment card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. That's gonna give me the Loam Coat, which is nice, but Loam Coat doesn't have the right target on turn 1. Its target, ideally, wants to be the Fungi stack. So I don't want to draw it on turn 1. And in deployment phase, I can't use the Echo at the time file, but hold it. Deepwood Oil also would just give 10 additional immediate armor to the Cluster Colonel, who comes in with equipment. I mean, Stoke Plate Mail just to give additional health to the top line makes so much sense to me. Take an additional copy of the first consume card, as well as the Deepwood Oil. And yeah, we're definitely going energy after this. Holding 2 Rising Rages is going to be kind of useful for me, I think. I'll fly up to this floor anyway, because there's only going to be 1 capacity left on this floor after this turn. I'm gonna go Grow Room, Liquid Courage. Ooh, that's my first consume card. I'm okay with that being my first consume card. Then Glow Up, so you've got enough damage shield not to even lose all of your damage shield before the end of this turn. Giving you the ability to propagate. Sap this entire floor, so the Moral Mistress can deal a bunch of damage for us, but also just to keep the Fungi stack alive. Space to top. Then Cluster Kernel and Rising Rage on the Cluster Kernel. It stays alive, then I can selfless sack the Fungi next. No, I'm not even necessarily going to have it next turn. I'll figure out what to do with you, buddy. But that would be all of our units comfortably defended if I can keep you alive. Damn, 2 damage shields. Still wasn't enough, but a mini flask afterwards got him there. 1 health remaining. Gains back 25 health at the end of the turn, though, due to the Valor. Okay, here we go. Selfless Sack gets the Fungi back to the front of the stack. Do I Lone Coat you? Yeah. You'll still have that by the end of the turn. The damage shield, that is. Easy stoic for that line. So Strix is going to die on the bottom line this turn, and then Hallow is taking the majority. Never mind, is also going to die this turn. Both of them die on Resolution at the same turn, 1 turn before the end of the fight. Sick. Oh, I've never done that before. I'm surprised there's not an achievement for killing them both in the same resolution. Death Metal Hymnist, enchant multi-strike onto a floor. I mean, as nice as it is it at all necessary? It's not like my hit damage is my big thing, other than it giving Valor. If I took it, how would I even play it? I'd have to play it and then ascend it on the same turn somehow. It just doesn't seem likely. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I do have space for 1 more unit. I'll take it. Gotta be Deployment Ember. We agreed earlier. Another Inspire out of here. I do want a single Inspire at least. Actually, no, I don't need it because I have the Graft Everlasting Light. Merchant of Arms offers a dupe. It's probably Merchant of Magic at this point, especially because of the health next to it. Those Liquid Courages, making any of those intrinsic, or even Selfless Sacrifice making intrinsic would be really useful. Tome of the Lost Path. I want to say similar, but not really. Oh. Intrinsic holdover on Glow Up is probably the strongest set of upgrades I can put on a card right now. -2 cost gain consume. Cleave, because I don't even get to play it every battle. Just because of the prohibitive cost of it. Celestial Alco first. -4 cost of something's not going to be great here. Triple stack. It's not bad. I don't think it's worth taking the Entropic Crystal, though. Especially because I can't remove it, and my deck is relatively thin, so I'm going to encounter Tropic Crystal and have to pay 2 energy to remove it constantly. Otherwise, it makes all of my spells cost +1 for the rest of the battle. I'll be skipping this one here, actually. Enchantress level 3! Now they're gaining 10 damage and 20 health. Reach resolution, start a battle, enemies ready to floor. Not too much of a problem because of our Tight Knight Defender we have for the top line. So, Tight Knight Valor in the front line, and then another Steward behind is enough. And then 2 Cluster Kernels, both attacking quickly on the mid line, should be enough. We have the ability to do the Death Metal Hymnist thing this turn. I'm not going to, because this is also a really good opportunity for me to develop the Spore Launcher, as well as Spear Steward and another Spear Steward. Good lord, what can't I do this time? Send Talos to the midline. And then I can even glow up this turn, and then I'll still have it next turn. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I've decided. It's Frozen Death Metal Hymnist. I'm going to Rising Rage you, and then I am going to glow up. Oh, no. I'll also use Cleave to take out the... Oh, Cleave then gets duped. It's fine, I'm okay with Cleave getting duped. Moral Mistress, then Tome of the Flight Path to fly up to the midline. Then Selfless Sacrifice on Death Metal Hymnist, and then Glow Up instead on Fungi. Unfortunately, this doesn't allow me to also get a Grow Room out there. But we should start getting to the area where our quick damage should enable us to start taking out Rage Wings. Ooh. That bottom line looks awful. Yeah, I'm so good at killing the big guys. It's the little guys in the back line that I'm scared about at the moment. Come on, I gotta be at the point where I can start taking down enough big guys. Yeah, no. Spore launcher. No. Alright, I got 2 gooey flasks in hand. We're doing it. I'm gonna Grow Room and then Rising Rage one of their defenders. Zap. Zap. No one's attacking this turn. How about that instead, huh? And now I definitely have enough damage to push through some of these terrifying amalgams. Only one of them, though. I mean, it's worth checking whether this will be much better off for us, because we are good against bosses, and in fact, everyone survives. So that'll be what we do. Just send a Thane up to this floor, and then big slaps. Don't have space for Elite Songbird, Shielded Wing neither, Men in Death Suit. I mean, I can use it, but it's not necessary at all. Racking Pain, nope. Troubles, don't have space for it. Wax Cap, theoretically I could throw you on the bottom line once every couple turns, maybe, if I get the ability to reform you. Card removal's getting difficult. Merchant of Steel with dupe and removal, certainly the most appealing here. Teal Lizard. Merchant of Trinkets has X costs. Gain Permafrost. That keeps the Death Metal in this in hand, which is nice, but that's the only thing affected. Jack Strips, 3 piercing damage when moved from 3 floors, just generally pretty good. I'll take it because it means I have to do very little additional work to take out Rage Wings when they get to the 2nd floor. When Calm with Consumer's Blade, deal 30 damage to the front of the unit. Not great. I don't even trigger shifts, there's no more trials, and I have exactly 1 starter card left in my deck. Ooh. Well, the Tuning Fork is not what we're looking for there. Multi-strike I don't think is necessary on any of these units. Doesn't really change their fortune. Dualism does help Moral Mistress. I will do it even if it's not that important, I don't think. I'll also go additional damage on another Spear Stew for the top line. Then reroll. Quick. I'm going to give 20 additional health just straight up to the Death Metal Hymnist, and then I'm going to give 10 additional health and 10 additional regen to the Death Metal Hymnist. And you know what? I'll give a quick attack to one of the Spear Stewards that's going to be standing alone on its own line. For removals, I mean, I'm always going to be happy to remove the additional copies of the Cleave and Liquid Courage and things that I don't especially care about like that. Rising Rage I don't use as much, but I feel like it's going to be more important in the battle to come. Wax Cap feels like it's almost already entirely irrelevant. Get rid of one, and I don't want to get rid of the other Liquid Courage, but I will. Actually, Fertile Ground, you're not especially good in this deck. I already make so many more troops than you. Another Glow Up. Honestly, being able to have 2 units that I advance and propagate each turn, that's actually huge. Yeah, I gotta have Titanite in the front line if I want to be able to survive the enemy's incoming. I want Spore Launcher, Cluster Kernel. Moral Mistress also on the same line, and then I fly Talos up this turn. Yeah, that sounds a lot better to me, actually. Okay, there we go. There's all the stewards. And who needs more survivability after this? I kind of just want to double cleave this bottom line. Hold the hordes at bay for another turn. Like, ideally, all of these should be played on someone else. Use an Echo at the time, Father. I'm drawing 2 of you again next turn anyway, so I might as well buff our frontliner. The Lone Coat and Liquid Courage, though, so much better targeted on the fungi here. Lone Coat, Liquid Courage, then throw up, throw up. So now you've got 5 damage shields. It's going to be really difficult to deal damage. For my enemies, that is. Wax Cap the bottom line. Need to get my second Cluster Kernel up to that line as well. That's still not happened. The next lineup is already going to be taken care of with the Grow Room. And Gooey Flask as well, yeah. So I'll use Cleave on the bottom line to take care of the Rage Wings. Then maybe I should Rising Rage the Terrifying Amalgam. It's a lot of health to get through, but I also do have more blow-ups going out. And the top line is Ooh, I was about to say is well positioned to take out a bunch of enemies. And it kind of is, except it's also well positioned to take a bunch of damage. Wow, that's the power of Titanite, folks. Terrifying Amalgam, Chosen Zealot with 3 attacks, Terrifying Amalgam and a Seraph Eternus giving 6 rage to all of them on the top floor, and they are peachy. They are A-OK. They are having no problem. I'm gonna Rising Rage the Ragewing Assassin off of this floor. Yeah, and then it immediately gets slain by a quick unit on the top floor above. And now everyone's comfortable on this mid lane. I'm like not comfortable, but they're doing okay. It could be a lot worse here. At least we lost the damage, or melee weakness, rather, from all of our backline units there. Oh, there it is. Death Metal Hymnist, and then you get Ascended Advanced. Unfortunately, I don't have my second quick attacking unit on that floor. Oh my god. I'm gonna Rising Rage your Rage Wing and your other Rage Wing to kill both of them. Then Cluster Colonel gets the Tome of the Lost Path to ascend to the mid line. We did it! Rising Rage and Jack Strips come in clutch, saving our entire backline. Although, still about to take some damage we don't want to be taking. Rising Rage the boss, so I don't have to deal with the additional 10 damage. And then Rising Rage the Chosen Assassin, so I don't have to deal with it dealing damage to our backline either. And that'll get it done. Damn. This might be the most value I've gotten out of Rising Rage. Obviously outside of like doing shift nonsense because of how many doublers there are for shift interactions. Just moving deadly units, killing units with it even. Oh. Cleave has been really useful in that fight, to be honest. So is Wax Cap for the one turn I got to use it for, so I'm really hesitant to remove anything. I must, though. Lone Coat's really nice when I can use it in the best circumstance. I probably just remove an additional copy of the Liquid Courage, because the rest of them hurt more. 52 health should be enough to take out the final fight. I am going to be sacrificing the bottom floor, so I'll be taking 5 damage every cycle, which is pretty bad. But even with that, I expect maximum damage before the end of the fight. We'd probably take like 36, maybe 40. Last fight. We really needed to get the boss to sit on a second floor on turn 1. This turn, don't need to do that, so I don't need to play the Shield Steward first. So this is Spore, Cluster, Cluster, Talos. Oh, wow. That's way too compelling. I'm gonna Death Metal Hymnist, Rising Rage, Then I gotta glow up, I guess, 2 units past? Not 2 units necessarily. Just someone needs to be ahead of you. And then I use it again for the holdover. I'll even echo with the Time Father to keep the Steward so I can play him on top line next turn. Drop a Wax Cap on the bottom line, and I'll also give you Cleave. Blow up. Keeps it alive. Lone Coat will keep it healthy. Then Titanite Valor. Oh, no, I don't even need to play the Titanite Valor this turn. I'll just play the Pyrelite. So Wax Cap's going on the bottom line to prevent the Corruption, additionally, from coming on my units. Otherwise, it's not that impactful. Not really meant to be. Blow up. Blow up. Lone Coat. Yeah, so if we can keep the fungi around as a permanent stack on this board, then it's going to also start accumulating additional Valor, and then it's going to gain regen, and it's going to gain Propagate, and it's going to get to the point that it can't be killed. There it is, Chosen Assassin on the bottom line. What do I want to do about that? I could just play a Spear Steward down there and then cleave it. Just get rid of that Chosen Assassin. And honestly, yeah, how about I just solve immediately my problem? Come to think of it, that does sound like a good solution to me. Solving my problem? Actually? Yeah. I was about to say, if I get flight for the Spear Steward, maybe I can even keep it alive. Throw room. I'm happy to just keep it alive for another turn, see if I can. Although now it'll have enough corruption on it that it'll be really doomed in the long run anyway. Okay, Savagery and Entropy are now both dead. It is just Dominion remaining. Dominion, you aren't going to be dealing damage to me every turn, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to hit you with Gooey Blast, Blow Up, just to take away a bunch of your damage. Just make it real hard for you to do anything to me ever again. So now the main damage is going to be from Scourges and the 5 damage around I take when Savagery goes to the bottom line. I'm so free and comfy to play each of those. And yeah, we've got more than enough time left in this battle. What, like 2, 3 more turns of highlight maximum? Hell, I'll ascend Savagery so I don't have to deal with you dealing 5 damage directly to me. And that will be all that was written. I do really love getting to actually run the Steward's Quarters and Enchantress with one another so that you can get ridiculous stats on the Stewards and then just let them at it. Like, they're only not doing ridiculous damage on the top line right now because they have 24 stacks of sap on them. They were so good for catching units, and honestly, I don't think we would have gotten through this run without it. If I didn't have them there catching units, I think I would have taken more than 34 more damage. Huge run. You just gotta love the cluster kernels. I think this should be a lesson to me about how, yes, quick and multi-strike are obviously incredible, and they're even more ridiculous on the correct target for them, but this is probably one of the wrongest targets that it could be on, and just granted another interaction that we also had graft, which could have just been equipment to put on them. It became one of the most powerful things we could do for buffing the floor. Also a little bit of a risk taken on the Death Metal Hymnus, but worked out really, really well there. Very pleased with this. Good show, sports. Good show. And hey, I know it's a little wonky, but we're kind of on a 10 streak at the moment. We've killed Seraph 10 times in a row, and we've killed the Titan 6. So let's average it out. It's an 8 streak. Oh, we did it. Another previous best conquered for total Enchantress attack and health gain. And yes, there's the win streak hopping up to 10 and 6 respectively. Jump back to the outpost. I'm almost sad I'm not going to get that clan combination again. At least that exact clan combination again. Because of how much stuff there truly is to propagate in the banished keywords rather. For the moment though. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content on the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out of thanks here, and a special thanks this episode to Sorathil. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.